Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chamber of Game on the Leviathan Network. This time we'll be looking at the recent turn-based strategy game Age of Wonders 3 by Triumph Studios. I'm the PC editor for Leviathan, Eric Watson. You can follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson, frequently doing the Chamber of Game gameplay videos. This time joining me tonight for our game session is our entertainment section writer, Mr. Chris Renner. Follow him on Twitter at Serial Viewer. Hello, Chris.
What's happening, sir?
Playing some Age of Wonders 3, and
Age of Wonders 3.
by the way, this is a fantastic time if you are a fan of turn-based strategy games, specifically fantasy turn-based strategy games, because Age of Wonders 3 came out on March 31st. You can see Benefactor, Notch. There's Marcus Person. This is the funded by Notch game. Age of Wonders 3 came out March 31st, and Warlock 2 comes out April 10th, which are different games, but similarly both fantasy turn-based strategy games. And if you like your sci-fi, Galactic Civilizations 3 comes out, or it just came out on early access on Alpha, I believe. So this is going to be a pretty great year.
Those are some good ways to waste a lot of time.
Never wasted. Yes,
spend.
Certainly spend. Yes, spend a lot of time. So Age of Wonders 3 is a sequel to Age of Wonders 2, which the first game I believe started around the time after Heroes 3, I want to say, as kind of a slightly more Civ version of Heroes 3, and then the sequel expounded on that, and that was, gosh, probably maybe mid 2000s, the latest. So it's been a while. This is one of those nobody thought would really happen, but then happened to be funded in large part by Notch, Marcus Person. And here we go. We've got Age of Wonders 3 now, has actually come out, and it's pretty good.
Is it?
It's
really?
pretty good. Yeah, for somebody that's... I never played a whole lot of the Age of Wonders series. I played a ton of the Heroes of Might and Magic series. Obviously, I wrote the big gaming retrospective, just turned 15 years old this year. And you can see the video we did on that, also with Chris, joined us for the video. And I'm a huge Civ fan, so but for some reason just never kind of clicked with me. But I wanted to jump into this one, and man, it's been absolutely fantastic so far. It comes with a campaign, which you can play as either the tree-hugging elves or the tree-cutting-down humans.
Are those two different campaigns, or just the same one from different sides?
I think it's the same story. I think they're different maps and stuff. When you start the game, it's like, we recommend you play this tutorial first, which the tutorial just starts you at Mission 1 of the Elven Court campaign.
Oh, okay.
So I still need to try the Commonwealth. I'm not sure if... it's the same story, I know, because just you fight either side as opposed to each other. And I assume the story plays out like Fern Gully, because it's just straight up like technology machines, are evil. And
really? It's straight up. They're the bad guys.
well, they're the bad guys to the elves. I mean, obviously.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, but elves are immortal and they don't like human technology and advances.
Right. I'm sure from the Commonwealth campaign, it'll be, we're just trying to build our civilization, and these terrorist elves are.
That's right. Stupid indigenous people always up in our grill. So you've got your campaigns, which are multiple maps strung together. You can play scenarios, which are basically just pre-made maps, which got at least half a dozen of these. And some of them come, like this is a 2v2 battle map. You've got a free-for-all 5 players on a giant island archipelago. Small 1v1 that mostly takes place underground, which people familiar with Heroes 3 recognize the underground as just a completely separate map that takes place underground, the main map. So you can play all these, or you can also play a random map, which works pretty much like Civ 5, where you can just generate a random map to play on.
Map size, difficulty, map type, game. What does game flow mean?
Game flow is interesting. So the normal game, you start off with a city and a small army, which basically just means you start off with a pretty decent. Your starting hero starts off with a full army already, which is nice because it just kind of accelerates that early game a little bit.
Right. You're not hitting each
To where
other
you
a
can
bunch of
just
times.
immediately, yeah, you can be building up your stuff, but in the meantime, you can actually be going and killing things every turn. And it especially helps on a random map too, because you're not going to get like super easy guys at the beginning necessarily, although it kind of does favor that. And you can tell that's kind of what the game's supposed to be because it is considered normal. But you can play it battle, which means you start off with a powerful army ready for battle. So even more so,
Okay.
if you want to like really eliminate, or they got the opposite. You start off with a settler and a small army, need to build their empire from scratch. No cities are present on the map at the start of the game, so you don't even start with a city. You just start with a settler. That's very Civ-like at the
Yeah.
beginning. Or adventure mode, which means it actually focuses just on heroes and armies and less on actual cities.
Oh.
There's very few cities on the map.
Huh.
So pretty interesting. You get you can even randomize, which that seems weird. Like I don't know how I want to play. Continents, islands are pretty much the main ones. There are a bunch of difficulty settings, which the main one seems, there's Squire, Knight, Lord, King, and Emperor. Prepare to be destroyed.
Yeah.
The AI will crush you. So we can go. I was like extra large. Extra large maps can take very long to complete. It's like warning. These are huge.
Have days
And-
set aside.
Right, because every battle you fight is a tactical grid like board game chess match. So those things can add up quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah, if you click advanced, it really starts looking like Civ because then you can
Oh,
really
individual
tweak all
specs, yeah.
your setting. Yeah, to your starting map. You can say, do you want an underground or not? What do you want your resources to look like? Do you want roaming units to even exist? And you can go to your geography and say, okay, what do you want this to look like? Do you want it to be, no barrens and maybe one with some swamps happening and some water, some swampy land? Which their different races have different terrain affinities, so that can actually put stuff in your favor. So if you create a bunch of volcanic,
People, and it's all gonna be Arctic.
yeah, it's like I'm gonna play as the Draconians and make it pure lava world, and then
Yeah.
just roll over people. You click next, and then you're looking at, okay, this is your screen you can fill up. People join. Simultaneous turns is pretty common nowadays. Ever since I know for sure Civ 5 had that, which just means everybody takes their turn together, and then everybody hits end turn together, and then the next turn starts. Instead of having to literally wait.
Unless you're like, within distance of them, right? That's how that works.
Right? Yeah. It has some special rules for if you can actually interact with each other directly. This tactical combat means there's an auto combat available when you first start, which actually seems pretty decent. I've done it a few times. I feel awful whenever I do it though, because I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna lose like these guys where I know I could play more efficiently.
No. Do you actually get to
But,
watch it play out, or does it just give you a?
You can, in fact, after you battle, there's a button to replay. You can actually just replay, like
See how
kind
you're
of like an
doing?
RTS, like RTS style, where you can just watch the replay of your whole fight.
Nice.
So we can do. Let's see, where do we go next? Go to launch. So this will take us to our leader picking screen. So
Also very Civ-like.
there are 6 races and 6 classes, and you can mix and match all of those.
Wow.
So there are, and the races kind of determine the overall creatures you're gonna get. Although each one has their own, like, there's infantry, cavalry, support, and archers. So you'll have all of those. You'll be able to recognize them, but then they'll be in the flavor of that race. So they'll have certain different stats lined up to each other, and they'll have their own little units. And then the actual class determines a lot. There's a special, tech tree of units unique to each class. And then there'll also be a lot of unique spells and ways that the hero operates. So the races are Orc, High Elf, Dwarf, Draconian, Human, and Goblin. Is that 6? Orc, High Elf, Dwarf, Draconian, Human, Goblin, yeah. And classes are Dreadnought, Theocrat, Warlord, sorcerer, archdruid, and which one am I forgetting? Rogue.
Rogue. Okay, nice.
So dreadnoughts are the technology guys.
Technology guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they actually have like rifles and muskets and tanks and shit.
Ah.
Which is the big conflict in this world right now is like suddenly people have technology. But it's interesting that you can mix and match with each race and class, so you can really come up with a combo that's, you know, whatever you freaking like.
Right.
And they have, I believe they have one of each, at least one of each combo that you can select pre-made, or you can actually customize your own race class and then their specific like starting skills and everything.
Oh wow.
That
Okay.
you want. Zorn the Disciplined.
The Warlord Orc.
Yeah. Got all kinds
The
of people. Wow,
sleek.
that guy. Yeah. Pontificus Maximus.
What does
So I've only
what do the Theocrats do? What's their thing?
They're kind of like clerics, I guess. It's the closest thing.
Okay.
They devout, so let's see, yeah, heal, persuade, minister, and convert. So one of the abilities you can get is to convert enemy units, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
They're good at healing. Yeah, so in each one of these, it'll have the description of the race up here, and then the description of the class down here.
Gotcha.
So who should we like? So out of all those combos, what do we want to start as?
Oh, I
initially?
don't know. Let's see.
This is a nice touch, though. The little
It
3D,
is,
you know, model.
yeah. Ah, he's cool looking. Let's go with
He is
that
cool
guy,
looking.
just because he's the coolest.
Furyk the rough-skinned.
The rough skin.
His massive cloak and awesome Diablo horns.
Yep.
So you can see he's got.
Take a look at the Theocrat Draconian. That's tongue twister. Okay.
That is a tongue twister.
She's weird looking. All right.
Yeah. All the Theocrats look kind of like clergy, I guess, or kind of a priest type thing.
All right. Yeah. Go with the Dreadnought. Dreadnought Draconian.
Dreadnought Draconian. If you can click on customize, and that'll tell you exactly which ones he's got.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's got creation, and then he's got creation adept, creation master, and air. And you
Suffocating
can
enemies.
so basically you decide between all these different elements. And creation's inherently good, destruction's inherently evil, which matters in terms of kind of like relationships with the fellow civs, I guess.
Right.
See how much they like you.
Okay.
We'll roll with Furyk the Rough-Skinned. So we've chosen our dude, generating our world, which takes seconds,
Wow.
which is awesome.
Okay. That's yeah.
The rise to power begins. So, Furyk is actually a hero unit on the field of battle.
Really?
He, yeah, whoever's on the leftmost side of your list is considered the army leader. And they are actual units on the field. They can cast spells. They actually have their own paper doll inventory system, so you can get artifacts and equip them, which could add new abilities. Since he's a dreadnought, he starts off with a rifle,
Nice.
which is pretty awesome, in addition to being able to fire, in addition to being able to cast spells. And you can see he's got a ton of different stats on him. He's immune to mind control. He starts off, I believe all leaders are mounted, which, that's badass. You can actually get different mounts as treasures, including like dragons, and your hero will literally just fly across the map.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. So yeah, and he starts off with a full army right here.
Hatchlings,
So
chargers.
hatchling, yeah, 2 pikemen, elder support guy, and the raptor who's their cavalry. So you can see
Okay.
it'll say tier 2, which is a nice handy way of saying approximately how powerful the unit is. Usually there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3.
Right.
And then Draconian is the race, and then it followed by their basic class. So, you know, there'll be like a high elf cavalry, there's dwarf cavalry,
Okay, so it's a
goblin
basic unit.
goblin cavalry rides like giant beetles.
Nice. All right.
These guys ride giant dinosaurs. Yeah, so So it makes it easy, so you can kind of see at a glance like what these guys are and kind of what they're capable of and what their role is. But each race still has their own specific flavor of how they operate. Like the hatchling is the initial guy that Draconians can build, and he's got a ranged attack and a melee attack. But when he evolves, the individual units can actually gain experience. He'll actually level up into one of these other guys.
Oh,
the advantage to being you can actually build him before building any of these other
Is
structures.
that a unique unit to the Draconians?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you can see the UI is pretty nice. We've got our map in the lower right corner. We can cast strategic spells. There's strategic spells and there's combat spells. Strategic spells are all obviously used outside of combat on the main map. And one thing we can do is summon a spy drone, which is our dreadnought ability. You can see on the bottom it says class dreadnought.
Ah.
So that's what fuels that. So we're going to summon a spy drone because those are very good for scouting. It actually takes a turn to do it, so it actually just sits here in my queue. It says 1 turn left, and so next turn I'll be able to actually summon it.
Gotcha. It's amazing to me how much this UI seems to blend Civilization and Heroes.
Yeah.
It looks like Civilization's UI.
Right, with the
spell, it was a spell book just like Heroes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And it even has the thing on the right side, all the little notifications like Civ does.
Exactly.
It's like select a skill to research,
Yeah,
and it's literally it opens a spell book again.
Wow. Yes.
And here you can see there's specific ones that are for Dreadnought, which are more spell points, produce engineer, steam powered. And then there are ones that are, let's see if I can find one. Well, all avatars can do that one. Creation Adept, here we go, Bless. So that's a combat spell because he's got the Creation Adept ability.
Okay.
So, and he'll open up, as he gains experience, he'll open up more things that he can research. You can research flashbangs.
Nice.
Mana-infused flashbangs.
So they really sell into the technology folks, sort of. It's all tech.
Yeah. Gold farms generate more. So what's interesting is that spells can happen in combat, but also you can cast spells on the strategic map to move stuff to your advantage. Everybody usually has... this one is the same, which is just your guy has more spell points, and then this one is the same, which is your unique class unit you can build. You actually have to research them. You'll see that it says unlocks research produce musketeers, the next one. So this is just the line you have to research to produce your new
Gotcha, your individual unit.
guys there. We'll do flashbang for the hell of it. Hero is joined to offer, and it seems to be on normal mode. You'll get one, in addition to your normal guy, you'll get an extra hero that will join you in the beginning, and it seems to be pure random. In fact, she's not even clearly not a Draconian.
Nope.
Hilda Mayflower is a human archdruid, which she just represents. We actually have to hire her, though, I guess. Yes, accept 100 gold. So now we can click on her. And she will look exactly like the other one where she's got her own paper doll.
Right.
And you can totally, it's kind of like Heroes 4, I believe, did this, where you can stack your heroes in the same army if you want and have a bunch of powerful heroes.
Oh, wow.
But
yeah.
they make them really useful to be in charge of their own army because as they level up, they'll gain skills that are like, all your units do this, but only if they're the army leader.
Right.
So it actually is useful to kind of split your guys up and naturally have, like Heroes, end up having your heroes be in charge of your armies.
Right.
Alright, so here's our starting town. We've got resource nodes around here. We start out with a gold mine and mana. So there's gold, mana, and research, and that's basically the only resources available. And research is obviously just the more you have of that knowledge points, I guess they call it, is the faster you research.
Okay.
Mana is used, it's used to cast spells. And primarily, like if you summon creatures or do any kind of spell that lasts a while, there'll be an upkeep for mana. Otherwise, it's just pure casting, really strategic spells too. And then gold is used to make dudes and buildings.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to see, break down. We're making, 34 gold a turn. We've got 200 right now. we're in the positive. And so far, the game does a very nice job, unlike vanilla Civ 5, it's gotten better now, of giving you way enough money to do what you need to do, and then keep that curve up pretty well,
Right.
which is helpful. We're going to combine these two, so automatically just moving one unit on top of another combines them in the same army. Here's another cool thing. So you can see right now I've got Hilda and a Draconian Raptor in the same army together, so they'll move together as one unit.
Okay.
And then at any time, I can just select the footprint of one of these guys, and then so I'm going to move the Draconian Raptor, and he's just going to move out on his own.
Oh, so you can have individual units just running around on their own.
Correct.
Okay.
There's no restriction on having them actually. They don't have to be with a hero or anything. They can just run around on their own. So you can have an infinite number of dudes running around. Now, like I said, heroes are generally really strong, and they eventually get abilities that say, hey, this happens when they're leading an army.
Right.
So it's generally very good to have them as part of heroes. But it's cool, and it makes it really easy. You can just click on that and split your guys up if you need to.
Yeah.
Kinds of stuff here. Okay, so we need to select a production for our city, which is apparently named Kurzu.
Kurzu. Draconian Flamer, Crusher, Hatchling, and a Battering Ram.
A battering ram, yeah. So we can already produce our archer and our infantry. So you can see it says Draconian/infantry. So that tells me exactly what roles they are.
Yeah.
This guy's a cool archer because his firebomb is actually a area effect.
Ah.
I've played with the Draconians a bit. The second campaign mission puts you as a Draconian guy. And buildings, not too complicated. It's generally like War Hall lets you produce pikemen and cavalry. Shooting Grounds gives your archers basically the first level. There's 4. Let's see, I could pull that up. There's 4 different ranks. Now let me get. There it goes. So Trooper, Veteran, Expert, and Elite. And a lot of times they will gain abilities. I guess these guys don't gain any until Elite, but they'll just gain little incremental stats as they gain experience. So each, in addition to having your hero obviously get new abilities and stuff, each individual unit can actually gain experience and level up as well.
Okay.
So it kind of rewards you for being able to keep guys alive and continue to use them. And this, I fucking love this. So you get this cool little 3D animated thing of the units, and you get this neat little flavor text right here, like scrolling by, that are pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
For every single unit.
Getting to see them in like full 3D imaging is nice.
Little touches like that is pretty great, and you can see just everything you need to know about this unit is here. Like they're mounted, which there's like pikemen will make it. Are more powerful against mounted guys, but these guys can charge, which means if they are 4 or more hexes away, they'll do more damage.
Ah.
They're walking, which there's other guys that can fly and float, so they can traverse stuff easier. Melee strike's their only offensive ability. They fast heal. It's everything you need to know right there. Shield, defense, resistance, anything that's not physical damage. So there's your magic resistance, essentially, your movement points and your hit points. So. Everything, as complicated as these games can get, I find it's very intuitive, just everything they've set up here.
Yeah, they've broken it down to its like basic elements, and they show you everything right off the bat, which is nice.
So let's produce a guy, and you can see it produces, there's your queue. So you can queue up a whole bunch of stuff you want to do.
Is there not a like a city view, or is this just the menus here?
There's no city view. This is the extent of it. So it just it basically just snaps to the city, and then you can build stuff. And there's no real visual representation of the buildings either.
Okay.
Which is kind of a bummer. Would have been a nice thing, but I can also see where that's something they could skip because this is very much just as efficient.
Right.
Let's defeat all rival empires is our goal. So the way you can actually lose your hero and be fine. He will respawn after 3 turns, and in the meantime your realm is considered in chaos. You don't get any research done, and I think your morale's really low and whatnot.
Right.
But after 3 turns he'll respawn in your city. So the way you lose is if you lose your throne room, your capital city.
Ah, okay.
If you lose that, and then your guy dies, he's got nowhere to go, then you lose the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, protect your leader and your throne city. If you lose both your hero and your throne city, you will lose the scenario, that's just the standard level of play.
Right.
Which is nice because it is kind of easy to accidentally lose your dude in combat.
Yeah, you're just a unit on the field. They could get
Which,
lucky.
correct, yeah. Here's what I like. You'll see it actually has blue things you can click on, and it opens up the Tomb of Wonders. This is something I appreciate a lot when it comes to these games, especially nowadays when games don't have manuals anymore, essentially.
Right.
This is the Civilopedia. Like, you can look up every piece of information here, and it tells you everything you need to know about just anything. Alignment, adjacent, hex rule.
Wow, okay. So it's like a not thesaurus, glossary of
Yes.
all the
Attacks of
terms.
opportunity, which is important. Moving a unit from the threatened area of an enemy unit to another hex provides an attack of opportunity, which is very D&D like.
Right.
This I'll explain when we jump into combat, but makes melee units very useful because you can actually use them defensively. But I like that. I like that it opens up the Tomb of Wonders.
Very helpful.
Alright, so we've got a full army here. What are these guys? Fell horses.
Sound like a
horses are
legitimate threat to the
going
kingdom?
down. In fact, they might be too frightened. Oh, they're going to attack me. So when I engage, it says a very likely victory. That's good. At this point, I can actually select auto combat, and it will play out for me in about 2 seconds. And then just come back and say, hey, what did I do?
Right.
This unit is a force of good. Killing it is an act. So some units are just inherently good or evil.
Wow.
Apparently
But
they
if they're
fell.
in your way, how are you supposed to get past them? If killing them is evil,
I like your justification, sir.
yeah, you got to get to that
So
whatever that passage is to the right of them.
So manual combat means we get to enter in to the tactical battle map and gaze in awe at their cool little camera angles. Yeah, so this is no like side thing. This is all it uses the like kind of that XCOM battle camera where it'll zoom in and snap to guys.
So this is what was
zoom.
in your quick view article. This is what was reminding me of the Total War series. This camera view and the way this is all set up.
Yep.
Not turn based, but sort of the same view.
It's pretty cool. All right, so
Where? Oh, the fell horses are very close to you. Okay.
yes, they are. It's pretty big. I've got it turned on where when I select my guys, it shows the grid.
Right.
Just because I like that. But you can actually turn it on to have the entire grid fill the map if you wanted to.
Ah.
This is probably good enough for me. So you can see immediately different ranges they can go in. And because attacking can trigger up to 3 times, but it depends on how far they've moved.
Oh, so is the orange is like they've moved 3? You know, they're 3 allotments and they can only attack once.
Correct.
Okay.
So it all kind of adds up together because it kind of gets complicated because they have a bunch of movement points, but moving takes up so many depending on what kind of terrain they're moving on.
Right.
So let's move our hatchlings up and throw some fire. And they have fire protection. That's fantastic. And it's just a question of my turn and his turn. So on my turn, I get to do all my guys, and then his turn, he does all his guys. So there is no initiative or speed or anything when it comes to actual units moving. So there's no question of, okay, which unit's going to go next and all that.
And as who goes first, is that just who attacked who? I mean, I know in AI, you know, playing against the computer doesn't really matter. You're always going to go first, I imagine. But I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Is there any multiplayer in this game?
There is. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't actually know the answer to that. I don't, because I think I've attacked and I think I've had the AI move first.
Oh, really?
So maybe there is a stat that I don't know about for that one.
Or just randomized, maybe.
Charge this guy.
They just get all up in there.
Yep. So you can see my guy is on the field of battle. He has multiple abilities. He can either melee strike, and he can move pretty far because he's mounted.
Right.
Or he can attack with his musket, which has a cooldown but is extremely powerful.
Nice.
Or he can cast a spell, and it opens his combat spell book.
Holy Cure
like
or Overlord? Overload.
Overload. So Cure just heals him, and that's because he's an adept.
Right.
Overload for Dreadnoughting means he can target machines and deal 10 damage. So there's no machines here. And you can see, so he's got casting points in addition to actual mana that you use. And spells normally use both, which means it does take a drain on your overall mana, and then your casting points are obviously that kind of what you can cast this combat cycle, essentially.
Oh, okay. So it's the overall mana stays with you after the battle.
Is an overall drain on your mana whenever you cast a spell, and this is just kind of like, hey, you can only I can only cast
battle.
2 Holy Cures, and then I'm out of mana this round. But I think he's going to be more effective at blowing them apart with his gun. Ranged penalty, so this is a pretty short gun. Let's move up a little bit. There we go. Straight shot. Blast this guy all to hell.
Nice. Yep, that's a musket.
Yep.
Little pop gun.
I think those guys haven't gone yet. They're not going to be able to get anywhere. So, defense for you. And who's left? Draconian Elders.
Can you move any of your units in any order?
Yes.
Okay, so you can select them back and forth.
Yeah, once it's my turn, I can move all of my guys and completely strategize how I want to do that. In fact, I want to move here and then.
So that's very
engage them.
XCOM-like of it. Where it's just
Correct.
Here's all your guys.
Right, instead of it being speed-based. So opportunity means once a melee unit is engaged with another one, if he tries to move at all, I get a free attack.
Okay.
If he does anything other than engage me, or I think he could, if he was an archer, he could shoot somebody else. If he had an ability that said he could do it without being engaged or something. But if he even tries to move here, I believe I will get a free attack with this guy.
Oh, really? You just have to.
And that's what makes melee units really cool. And obviously there are range penalties and stuff. So there's a lot, you know, with the big battlefield, your first thought is like, whoa, archers should dominate, but there's a lot to actually balance it.
Right. Archers have to be in the right spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so see, he just moved, and my guy got a free attack on him to attack these guys, and then obviously those guys took him out, so... It's probably a poor choice on his part.
Probably. Those fell horses aren't the smartest.
No, we wiped them clean. So our reward for exploring the Great Farm is 65 gold and a boar. You will get all kinds of stuff as rewards. Anything from units to items to spells and all this shit. So
wow, and boar is a unit?
Yep, he's a unit.
All right.
He's owned by me. He's the best. And we're going to use him as his own boar. So he's going to go into this cartographer's tent to explore
you just kind of wild
nearby
the
region.
boars running through the forest for you.
That's right.
Good job.
Boars! Explore this area for me. Looks like there might be a town right here, actually. End turn. We ran out of moves for everybody, so... A new day dawns. So everybody gets their movement points back. And then this went one more turn for building its thing. So it's very much, obviously, a turn-based in terms of Civ and Heroes and Age of Wonders.
Right.
All those kind of games operate the same, where you do everything you can every turn, which is what makes these games take quite a while, but also be pretty fun. I don't think she has enough units to actually attack anybody yet. Oh boy, there's another town up here. Yep. Outpost of Turnisex or something. Look at all this shit on the map, though. Oh my gosh. And dudes will... they'll sit here and guard areas. There's spiders and boars on that one. And dwarves on this one.
Okay.
And it looks like this is a roaming party of draconian chargers. So this is actually a small independent town.
So
up here,
not
which is
the player.
Right, yeah. All this gray flag is just basically neutral creatures.
Gotcha.
And typically every single resource node you find, which just capturing these like I did, this one, just doing it gives me a reward, but also it says, once it's been explored, it adds a resource when located within your domain. This particular one adds 100 population, which will make this town grow faster, which makes its borders grow bigger.
Super civilization.
So, yeah. Oh, I missed that. So all of these resources can potentially help you if they're located within your domain.
Right.
So this magma forge gives you increased production. Gold mine gives you increased monies. These are all gold mines, it looks like. Mana node gives you increased mana per turn. And you don't necessarily have to just expand your borders or build a whole new city. You can actually build strongholds, which their sole goal is just to provide like that domain influence around an area.
Okay.
So you can take advantage of that. Boars, I've got another job for you. There's refugees up here. Boars!
Are the refugees going to get attacked by boars? Or did you save them?
No, it's like a treasure chest, except it has people in it. Is what a refugee camp is.
I thought your boars were just going to slaughter a bunch of refugees.
These are well-trained boars, sir. Would never do that.
I'm not sure how I'd feel as a refugee if a pack of boars came.
Go here, people.
Yep,
This is the place.
to safety.
Let's do another one. Engage independent
These
forces.
guys? Just
These are scoundrels guarding something in our way.
no.
And I like that the normal play is just... Oh, here's a cool... You can see the... Actually have a little base they're in.
Yeah.
And see, here they get to go first on this one. So I'm actually not even
Interesting.
sure what the exact rule is for that. And they get to just sit behind their walls and shoot me with their bitch-ass crossbows.
Yeah, they are just
Yep, and those rules apply. Like, I have to straight up...
siege their town.
I have to attack their walls before I can attack them.
Ah.
Which, man, castle sieges can get pretty crazy because you can have trebuchets and those battering rams attack the walls and they're just raining shit down on you.
Right.
It can get pretty ugly. This guy can't move worth a shit either. I think, let's see, what has... Obstacle. 12 of 12. Okay, so I should be able to just destroy these things. Charge.
They're plywood fences.
Yep. I charge your fences, sir. Hatchling, you're going nowhere. Except you can still shoot them for no damage. 3 to 5. You guys kind of suck. You guys can run up there. So you opened the way. Nice. And the elder.
Relive the like Two Towers final battle this way.
So also, whenever you attack anybody adjacent to you can join in the fight. Anybody adjacent to the enemy joins into the fight. Up to, I believe, 6 total armies.
Wow. So
of up to 6 units each. Yes. I just played one that was an insanely big. The enemy had a siege of like just lined with dudes all along, and I had a big army coming at him, and it was pretty awesome.
Wow. All right.
It took a while, and it was just amazing.
Do each of those 6 armies move independently of each other, or is it just your turn, so everybody that's on your side gets to move?
Everybody on your side gets to move.
Okay.
Every turn, yeah.
That's crazy. That's a lot of stuff going on.
I bet I can overload his walls.
Overload the walls? Alright.
Is that worth doing? I don't know.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's see. No, maybe not. It says... Oh, target friendly machine. Target machine deals plus 10 damage. My bad. So I can boost my machines.
Right.
That's not gonna help me.
That's not what I thought it was either.
No. So you get to be on defense. Let him plink away at his crossbows again. Which he is going to do, like a jerk. You can actually select the speed to make it go faster.
Oh wow, okay. You don't feel like watching the animations?
Yeah. Alright, Raptors, you guys are actually not doing so well, so why don't you run over here. So nobody's... Okay, those guys actually died attacking them. So there's only 2 guys left. We're going to move the Raptors over here and try to keep them alive. And
so,
what else are we going to do?
each of these units has a number of guys in it, or just a life bar?
I think it's just a life bar. I think this is honestly just a visual representation.
Okay.
Because, and I don't think they get weaker as you kill them either. I think it's still
really?
the same. I think. I've been trying to pay attention to that.
Yeah. So it's not like Heroes where you can build lots of one unit and put them in a stack.
Right, yeah, there's no stack, there's no numbers. This is just one unit that you can have, and that just counts as your one unit.
Right, right.
Kill them. Stab them with your stabby things. Oh, you couldn't do it, you jackasses. 2 hit points. You jackasses. Because the other charger cannot get to them. Damn it. Attack the wall, charger. You couldn't even kill the wall. You guys suck.
That's, yeah. That's
Wall's 12 hit points. Assholes. Alright, hatchlings will finish the job. Whoa, 9 to 13. Hell yeah. It's plenty good. Alright, can you shoot your shotgun at them or whatever you have? You can! For 3 to 5. Damn, that line of sight penalty is atrocious. So there's ranged penalty, which this, apparently his rifle is awful at that, and a line of sight penalty because he has to do an arcing shot all the way over all this rubble in the way.
If there's anything in between,
and you can see there's actually a line. It hits orange. There's like a little crosshair right there. It's orange. It's like, hey, there's shit in the way.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I know. That's what I should have done. Alright, I have destroyed all these walls. Your turn, asshole scoundrels. Not the raptor. No! Jerks.
Did they kill him?
Yeah, they did.
Is there a way to heal guys?
You know what? I should have done that. I have a heal spell, don't I?
Oh, you
Son
do,
of a bitch,
yes.
Chris. Why aren't you paying attention?
After the fact. Hindsight.
That was one of the 2 spells I have is healing guys. That would have been the smart play. So here's an example of flanking. Because I shot him from here, he automatically turns towards the last person that attacked him. Anytime you attack somebody that's in the back 3 hexes, it's considered a flanking attack, and you get a huge bonus.
Oh.
To your attack. So it actually is, again, the way you can kind of strategize your who's going to attack whom and when.
Right.
Makes a big difference. Although these guys are still going to get a pretty good retaliation, but hopefully they can kill them. There we go. Stupid raptors. Damn my hubris.
You lost your raptors.
Oh, such a skull. Dead! So units maintain their damage state, and they'll heal slowly every turn.
Okay.
So you actually do take attrition damage. Cowl of the what?
Wow.
L.A.
Mercenary? L.E. Mercenary.
Mercenary. All units in the hero's army gain volunteer. Units with volunteer require minus 50% upkeep.
All right.
Okay, here's an example. This ability only functions when the hero is leading the army. So again, it's like, hey, you should have heroes lead your army.
Yeah.
Hey, Orc Spearmen. I will
Very
replace
nice.
my raptors.
Yeah.
I will take those rewards. I will equip my cowl, which means I should get more money per turn.
You're all
Money's-
here voluntarily.
Yeah, I went from 27 to 37, so
Nice.
you are all volunteers now. So saith the cowl.
Yep. They all look at the cow and be like, yeah, I think I'm here of my own pro bono will.
I mean, the guy does have a cowl. I trust him. So that's pretty much. So what do you think about it so far?
It looks great. It looks, yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. How long would a map like this take? Because you don't seem to have gotten very far in the last 20 minutes.
No, yeah, this takes a while. There's my spy drone.
Ah, nice.
Let him move on his own. Yeah, I mean, this is just a medium map, and it is pretty substantial. In fact, I'll show you my favorite features. When you zoom out all the way, it goes into this really cool, like,
yes.
old school cartographer's map. But look at the borders of this map. I mean, this is a medium map.
Wow, yeah, that one's sizable.
And you could even have an underground, which I don't think I selected underground. But I mean, you can see this is just the area we've explored right now. This is the total area of the map. Like,
okay, yeah. So it's definitely like Civ 5 length of games. Like it will take you a long time.
Especially because each of these maps can potentially be, a 10 to 30-minute, battle in of itself.
Right.
On the especially these bigger maps could certainly be enormous. The bigger like battle sections, multiple dudes. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, a lot of time you can spend on a game like this.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed my time with it. It's been a ton of fun. I've put up my first impressions up on the site because it's just such a long game. It's going to be a while before I can get the review done. Trying to work through it this week. I say work through it, but honestly, it's just been a lot of fun actually playing this game, which completely off the radar for me either. Like I knew this was a game was coming. I was, like I said, never a big Age of Wonders guy, but even though I liked the genre, and just has completely blown me away with how well done it is for, obviously a very much an indie production, and especially one of those that's so many years after the fact. You just never can tell what these kind of games are going to end up looking like, and just everything they've done, from the UI to the battles to just the little touches, like the little unit animations in the Tomb of Wonders, all of those things just make it a fantastic experience.
Nice. It looks great. It looks like a game I would just get horribly addicted. It looks like one of those one more turn type of games.
It's absolutely that.
I have to work in the morning.
Oh God, it's 6 a.m. already. Absolutely. All right, well, Chris, thank you for joining me for this Chamber of Game for Age of Wonders 3.
Thank you for showing it to me. It looks fantastic.
Yes, you can find it on Steam. Believe it's, what did it start at? $39.99, I think, for the base game. Came out March 31st. We've got a first impressions piece on the site you can read by me, and you'll be able to watch this Chamber of Game episode on our YouTube channel, of course, and look for a full review, whenever I can sink some time into it and actually pull myself away from it. So I am Eric Watson. You can follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson. Follow Chris on Twitter at Serial Viewer, and thank you for joining us for Chamber of Game Age of Wonders 3.